Good afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun. The federal government has warned that 32 locations across 11 states may experience heavy rainfall that may lead to flooding between 14th and 18th September 2025. The flood prediction issued by the Federal Ministry of Environment National Flood Early Warning Center was signed by the Director, Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department, Usman Bukani. The ministry cautioned that rising water levels in the River Gongola, River Benue and River Niger pose additional risk, warning that communities situated on the floodplains are especially vulnerable, thereby urging state government and other agencies to provide prompt feedback and act quickly to mitigate the impact. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged faith leaders to join hands with him to build a strong economy in which the people will prosper, urging them to promote interfaith harmony. Tinubu spoke at the opening of the second plenary meeting of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in Akwa Ibom State, pledged to partner with them and their institutions to tackle poverty, unemployment and inequality. Tinubu told the bishops that genuine reconciliation and national cohesion can only be achieved when spiritual leaders preach peace, discourage extremism, hatred, and divisive tendencies. He then challenged them to continue speaking truth to power and to society. Oyo State has again claimed the PSAT title as it launches a free trade area, making it the first state to achieve such a milestone. Our correspondent, Sheifemi Akinsoya, has the report.
The Oyo State government has officially launched its subnational African Continental Free Trade Area after implementation strategy, making it the first state in Africa to achieve the feat. Speaking at the event, the acting governor of Oyo State, Barrister Bayo Lawal, stated that the launch reflects the Seyi Makinde administration's consistent drive to expand opportunities for trade, investment, and job creation in the state, adding that the strategy would not only strengthen Oyo's economy, but also empower local entrepreneurs to compete globally under the AFTA framework.
Africa is the home of poverty, so this agency, this African agency, is purposely put in place to address poverty in our land. This is not merely a formality. It is a statement of intent that Oyo State means business.
Meanwhile, the special advisor to the governor on international trade and AFTA, Neo Theodore Tiaselo, described the launch as a major milestone in Oyo State economic development, stressing that its strategy would boost trade and enhance the state economy.
This is not just the unveiling of a document, but the beginning of a transformative journey.
The AFTA Secretary General, Wamkele Mene, commended Oyo State for being the first subnational government to launch its AFTA implementation strategy, stressing that the move demonstrates the vital role states can play in advancing continental integration.
I therefore commend the Governor, His Excellency, for being the very first, not just in Nigeria, but the very first sub-national authority to implement a vision for AFCFTA implementation.
With the launch, Oyo State is believed to have set a pattern for governments across Africa to follow. Sheifemi Akinsoya for Dominion News.
The Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adeoye Aribasoye, has called on religious leaders to encourage their followers to adopt the highest standards of moral conduct. These beliefs will enable individuals to function more effectively for the benefit of both humanity and the nation. Aribasoye delivered this message at this year's Pentecost Leadership Academy held in Ikera Ekiti, where he highlighted that leaders who neglect the moral development of their followers are unable to perform effectively or gain the necessary support.
Church has been a bit docile about particularly happenings around us within government circles, but now I can say the church is rising to the occasion. Church now knows that it is important for us to play the pivotal role if we are going to get it right. Like we know that the gospel also preaches it is only when the righteous rule that people rejoice. And for people to rejoice, then the church must rise to the occasion.
They should put the fear of God in place. They should also know that whatever you do today is going to be a story tomorrow. Look at some of the roads that were built by late Awolowo. You will still see the traces that something was done here in 1960, in 1970s. But the roads built 5 years ago, 10 years ago, is nowhere to be found. So we need to put the fear of God in place. They need to understand that they are leading.
Because naturally, every man is selfish. Naturally. But when God puts in mind of the leaders, they will consider the masses.
The program emphasized the importance of religious organizations creating platforms and initiatives aimed at mentoring youth and teaching them how to take responsibility and contribute positively to the country's growth. As Rivers State prepares for the return of Governor Siminalayi Fubara following the 6-month emergency rule in the state, the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Iboketa Ibas, retired, has defended his tenure, stating that he fulfilled President Bola Tinubu's mandate and stabilized the oil-rich state. However, the opposition parties called for an investigation into Ibas' tenure, particularly his management of the state resources during a 6-month stay in Brick House with the People's Democratic Party, describing the Ibas' 6-month administration as a waste of time. Meanwhile, the New Nigeria People's Party and the Labour Party also criticized the emergency rule, alleging it was designed to protect the interests of President Tinubu and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, rather than those of the people. On the foreign scene, the World Health Organization WHO has begun vaccinating frontline health workers and contacts of infected individuals in response to a new Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Kasai province. An initial 400 doses of the Ebola vaccine have been delivered to Bulape, the epicenter of the outbreak, even as the International Coordinating Group on Vaccine Provision also approved the shipment of an additional 35,000 doses to help contain the spread. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization Program Area Manager Patrick Autumn warned that the outbreak could expand, especially after a case was confirmed 70 kilometers from Bulape. The United Kingdom and United States are set to sign a landmark agreement aimed at accelerating the development of nuclear power, generate more jobs, and strengthen Britain's energy security. The Atlantic Partnership for Advanced Nuclear Energy, as the agreement is tagged, is expected to be signed off during United States President Donald Trump's state visit this week, with both sides hoping it will unblock billions in private investment. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the two nations were building a golden age of nuclear that will put them at the forefront of global innovation. Talking sports, a former Manchester United captain and record goal scorer Wayne Rooney has claimed the team has got worse on the current manager Ruben Amorim. Rooney voiced his concerns following United's latest setback, a 3-0 defeat to rivals Manchester City, describing the performance as further proof that the club is failing to move forward. The former England and Manchester United striker added that many of last season's problems already appear to be resurfacing as the team's form gets bad under Amorim. You can follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cars. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun saying thank you for watching and good afternoon.